So the question is, what are you going to do now with your new freedom? Have you thought about it? Have you had time to think about what the next chapter looks like?
No. I've probably had time, but I am focused solely on closing the restaurant gracefully. I'm sorry about the hands and the fruit block.
Hey, the windows are open?
The windows are open. Thank God the windows are
yes,
open.
Yes, they are.
I'm really focused on doing this the right way. It's an unusual move. It's very unusual to give a staff 4 months' notice.
Yep.
But I didn't want this to feel like an emergency for people who I love and respect and who I've worked with for a long time. So I felt that if everybody got a lot of notice, we could do this together gracefully and have fun with it. And I think we have had fun with it. And I'm thrilled that I chose to do it this way. I could never be someone who says, guess what? Tonight's the last night.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Like
it would break my heart.
Yeah.
And plus, I couldn't hold a secret that long anyway. Everybody knows that.
Very true. Very true.
So I have no plans. I'm focused.
Does that frighten you?
Terrifying. I've never not worked, and I've loved it. So I have no idea what will happen. The people in my life who are my age or older say it's going to be fine. I don't believe a word of it. I'm hoping to land you all in various places, have them get to know me as a regular, and then say, do you need any help? Anything I can do for you? I'm a friend of Dan's.
Well, I know that as someone who's a go-getter like yourself, I would think perhaps that you would be scared of boredom.
Yes.
Is that a real?
Absolutely. I'm a big reader. I laughingly often say about myself that I'm a closet introvert. People who just know me publicly don't really know that, but I am somebody who loves to read. I love to cook. I have a nice marriage and a terrific life. So, but I am worried about getting antsy. I know I'm going to get antsy. My poor husband, I'm going to get antsy. It's going to be probably horrible for him.
Well, I remember one thing you said before we close up here. One thing you said to me that was really profound last year sometime. You said that you never opened a restaurant for the money. You opened it to employ people and make people happy. And I was wondering if you could expand on that a little bit, because to me, I've never heard of such a thing, and most people can't even comprehend that type of such a wonderfully sort of open mindset like that, and to not be all in it for the cash. What does that mean to you?
Well, I'm certainly all in it for the cash. I'm a business person,
Sure,
and when people ask me why Bistrot Zinc is successful for 20 years and profitable for 20 years, I have my standard retort, which is that because I run Bistrot Zinc like a business and not like a restaurant.
Right.
So for me, this isn't a vanity project. I didn't open a French restaurant because I thought it would be sexy or because I was feeding my culinary ego. It's a business, and lucky me that it's been a successful business. But my personal joy comes from being an employer. I love being an employer. I love culling people and putting them together and building a team. And when we're looking for someone, which is, certainly in the front of the house, very unusual because all of you have stayed so long, you always want to mix it up a little. You want to hire people that are going to fit in, not so that everybody's alike, but so that it's a group of people who are respectful of each other and enjoy each other. And I know that many of you will remember me as a great boss.
Absolutely.
And nothing gives me more pleasure, because this is what I really love to do. I like to manage people, and I like to be a part of that community of people who come together under often very stressful circumstances. You know, the weather doesn't cooperate. A million things happen. We work with perishable product. A million things happen in the course of serving food in a restaurant, much of it theater. And I like pulling those strings and making sure that curtain is just so. And that is my real pleasure. I'm delighted that the guests love it, but I get real pleasure from us as a unit.
So by the time at the time of shooting this video, we're about in the ideal situation, probably 5 weeks or so away from it finally being the end. And I know that it's going to be probably more emotional as we get closer. But for the guests that have been coming here from the very beginning or just learned of us last week and that are all so upset and have loved Bistrot Zinc for all this time, what would be, if you could say it all to all of them at once, what would be your final message to our wonderful guests?
I can actually answer that because everybody wants to talk to me now. People always wanted to talk to me because it was pretty clear, being the oldest employee in the room at any given time, that I must have some kind of heft. But I know what I want to say about this because I have hopefully said it to a lot of people. This sort of success doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It doesn't happen just from us and what we're giving. It happens because there's a reciprocal relationship between the people who get what you're doing and are appreciative of it and what you're doing. So we as a group really get fed by the guests who love what we do, love the fact that we're lighthearted, love the fact that we're a little irreverent, sometimes a lot irreverent, but mostly just a little irreverent. You know, they love the music and they tell us that they love it and we can see that they love it. So it's very reciprocal, and I have said to a lot of people that, you know, this didn't happen without you.
Right.
It couldn't have. I mean, you know, it couldn't have happened without the Corps and all these wonderful people who have supported us for so long, who have loved what we do. It's very reinforcing to be lucky enough to have a clientele who acknowledge what you're trying to do. Doesn't get any more enjoyable than that.
Well, thank you very much for doing this. I know that there's so many people that appreciate what you've done over the years, and we'll certainly miss Bistrot Zinc, but thanks for everything that you've done, and thanks so much for being so candid in this interview. I really appreciate it.
I can weep now, right?
You can. The waterworks can begin.
Okay. Thank you, Dan.